Jai Ma. We are back with Sharon Silverstein. Sharon Silverstein is partners with Deva in Way of the Sacred Feminine, right? So Way of the Sacred Feminine, Way of the Sacred.
Way of the Sacred.
Way of the Sacred. And Sharon also has a beautiful music project called Sharon Silverstein and the Peace Project. We met her when we did Om Fest.
Yeah.
And she graced our stage with some beautiful music at the festival. And I'm going to read Sharon's description of what she brings. So, a traveling gypsy bringing spiritual teachings through inspirational music to move your soul into its innate alignment. And that just feels so good. The word innate really just stands out for me in that phrase.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has this innate wisdom.
They do. And these are Sharon's CDs. So they are all available on your website.
They're available on cdbaby.com.
Okay.
They're available on iTunes. They're available for streaming, downloading.
Wonderful.
And SharonSilverstein.com.
Right. And we will have all of that information listed below. So I'm going to close my eyes and we'll take the interview from there, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Mato kurusha shaimiti kalanakara. Mihuru kuruta harana kaliyatata shtakarana kaliyatata. So Sharon, hi.
Hi.
We are here together. We are here in this joy. We are here in this peace. We are here in this love. We are here in this divinity, in this truth. We are knowing ourselves as divine. We are knowing ourselves as free. We are knowing ourselves as conscious beings of light doing our work here on this earth plane. We are bringing our light into the world on this earth plane. And I've witnessed you doing your work, and I've witnessed you transferring your light, and I've witnessed you giving people all this joy. So much joy from the stage when your presence on the stage is just a joyful presence of light. It's just an energy of grace.
Thank you. It feels really nice to be seen in that way. And that feels on target for me.
Good.
Yeah.
So in this space of love, in this space of light, in this space of truth, in this space of divinity, we're wondering what it is that your path is here on this earth plane at this time.
My path is a collective path, whether people know it or not, is to move into complete alignment with who we truly are, which is love. Yes. Love and light and community. Knowing each other's and honoring each other's gifts, and all of our gifts obviously can be very different, but yet we are all still connected on this amazing light grid.
Yes.
So I bring my gifts to the table, which we're at
literally
in the camper.
Yes.
I bring my gifts to the table as and I've been told this by a few seers, that there is a connection of my throat chakra to the resonance and the vibrations that I'm singing about and the music that's being created. My throat is the sonic healer. Wow. So as people enter into the journey with me, with the music, then the voice, the fifth chakra, kind of takes over.
Wow. And
delivers this healing to people. And it can be a subtle healing, it can be, a joyful healing, it can be bringing people into tears. But I don't really do it. It's just my gift. It's this vessel that it gets channeled through. And then that sonic healing obviously is connected to all that is and all that ever was and all there ever will be. Right. So it's who we truly are in that divine essence. And so I would intend while I'm singing for it to be activated within the listener.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're singing and as you're putting forth this energy into the world and you're transferring these good vibes into the people that are listening to you, are you actively aware of what their conscious state is? Like, is there an active communication with them?
Well, I am an empath, so I get a feeling for where people are at when I walk into a room, and I like to say that I meet people where they're at, and then we go on this journey together. So yes and no. I mean, sometimes I'm aware of where like an individual is at, and if I feel like they haven't yet, connected in with their innate wisdom within themselves, or they're just not connecting in with their heart chakra, I may, intend the vibration towards them, sort of like what they call in a musical sense, working the room, so working,
but at a higher level, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean that whole sense of just feeling where people are at, and then just gathering the energies one by one. Some people are already there with me, and then if I feel like somebody isn't quite there yet, I'll intend for the energy to kind of gather them into the torus. I kind of picture a torus while I'm singing. And in the whole, the torus being within myself, within each individual, and then within the whole room and within the collective.
Okay. Yeah. And for those watching who may not know what that means, what is a torus?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to do justice on the explanation, but it's an energetic system of energy that cycles. It's sort of, it doesn't cycle as a figure 8, but it kind of looks like a figure 8, and then it cycles, this way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the energy within you that's providing that energy for other people to come into that space of truth within themselves, is that energy awakening within you more and more these days as you're traveling, as you're doing the work with your sacred partner, Deva? Are you seeing that energy awakening more, and in what ways?
Yes, I feel the energy awakening within myself more and more, for sure, becoming more connected to that primal energy, and feeling that more and more in my surroundings, and feeling more and more like I need to be in nature in order to recharge my own batteries. And being in a city is very draining, or being where there's a lot of land that's covered with concrete and asphalt. I need to get my feet connected into the earth energy and grounded, and then drawing that energy up from the earth to feel connected into the heavens and into the Mother Earth. So yeah, I'm feeling like more and more there are people awakening to the energies, and some people are lost about what to do, or how to navigate some of these intense energies that can be intense. Maybe their physical body isn't ready to process those energies. So I try to be mindful that a person's path is their path, and they are awakening at their own divine timing. So I don't know if that answers the question, but
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're asking questions that bring forth an energy from within you, because we're feeling this strong light energy from within you, and we just want to share that and express that. So as the energy grows within you, and you're feeling the energy being experienced more by those around you, and you have your sacred partner Deva that you're doing this work with, how would you describe the work that you and Deva are projecting or giving or sharing with the women that you're coming into contact with?
Yeah, I know that we are providing this amazing safe container that we both bring and create with our sacred sisters for them to do deep work within themselves and then share then back out with the sacred sisterhood. So we are able to create that safe container together because we both have done a lot of inner work ourselves. And so, like Deva always says, we're way showers, but we can only show the way to the point that we've worked to, so we always are doing our own sacred work within ourselves, and then within our relationship to go further along on the path, so to speak, so we can be showing the way further.
Yes.
And actually, like, it's almost like growing with our sacred sisterhood.
Yes, that's
so it's
so beautiful.
Yeah.
It is. So that growth within you that's taking place right now seems pretty big, as the growth on the planet in general seems to be just massively expanding. I know I'm experiencing a massive expansion at this time. So we're wondering where you guys are going with this energy. Do you have like a bigger vision, a bigger view of your future, so to speak, where you're taking it?
Well, that's being divinely guided, and so we're ebbing and flowing with how we're being guided. Yet we have, of course, been given this vision of gathering the tribe together, and this might look like, I'm not saying it's going to, but it might look like a festival of some sort, but more like a gathering of tribe than a festival. And it would be a way for us to learn how to live together as a tribe. So the gathering would be focused on that. So it would be communal. It would be communal in the sense of making food and music and sharing our gifts with each other, and there wouldn't be a hierarchy of leaders. It would be all on the same level. I don't know, for lack of a better word, playing field.
Yes, I understand, because so many of the festivals that are happening right now, they're trying to be in the lighter side of things, but yet they're still working from the third dimensional reality. So that vision of trying to bring it all together so that we're all in one place equally, because we are that ultimately, is a beautiful vision. Yeah,
and everybody has their gifts to share. So we would do a sharing circle with the music. We would do a sharing circle with a talking stick. We would, share in making meals and share in living together, and everybody would have a role. So so that would be a beautiful, that was given to us a few months ago, that vision.
Okay.
So it's still formulating. We're not exactly sure where it's going to take place. That's going to be revealed soon. So, but we're looking at the 2020 year. Okay. So watch for that on their websites. Yes. Okay, so in this expression and this beauty and this joy and all of this energy that's taking place within us right now, do you have an expression? Do you have a word? Do you have a consciousness that you like to share with people? If you had one thing you had to say to someone, one thing you had to say to the world, do you have something that you would like to share? I don't know, the thing that came was "Let It Be." Like the Beatles song. Right. Or that might have been Paul McCartney on his own. Let it be. It's so beautiful just to let things be as they are, and have an understanding of that. I like to think of it as a triangle, and spirit is at the top of the triangle. You can call it whatever you want: God, spirit, divine consciousness, the alpha, omega. And then at the bottom can be you and somebody else at the other corners. And when we try to have relationships this way at the bottom of the triangle, we never get anywhere productive. Productively within ourselves, productively for the relationship, and therefore not productively for the community, family, and then community. But when we really start to have a direct experience with the divine, and then we start to work towards the top of the triangle where spirit is, then that other person starts doing their journey as well, hopefully.
Right.
and what happens, as we go further and further up on the triangle, we become closer with each other.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Never heard that.
Yeah, that came from a good friend of mine up in Massachusetts. His name is Jeff, and he talked about that having that experience and that first relationship with spirit within yourself, and then working towards that direct relationship, the close relationship that we have with spirit. If you have a problem with your partner, go pray. If you have a problem with your partner, go do your work. And then once each person does their work, then you can come in and then talk about it. Yeah, because otherwise you're really just at the bottom of the triangle, really never getting anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as you and Deva explore this more, because they've been living in a camper for how many months?
We left in October, but I've been living in the camper since June. But we left in October on this sacred journey across the United States and back. So since October.
They've been in very close quarters together, and I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but I have, and it can be challenging.
Yeah.
So as you two work together in this way, it must just be so beautiful to be able to share these revelations of your own relationship and of relating and finding the joys and the sorrows and the expression of coming together in that way. Is there anything you want to share about that?
The one thing that really works for me is that there were some, what I call them, fire tools.
Okay.
That I put out on a blog a while ago. I think the blog's still on wayofthesacred.com if anybody wants to.
What's the blog called?
I think it's called Fire Tools.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something about relationships and using fire tools. These came to myself and a friend when we were in Valley of Fire, Nevada. So that's why we called them fire tools. I'm not going to remember them all, but one of the most important ones was when you're having some conflict in your relationship, it's always beneficial to take time to process. So it's like, hey, I really need time to process this, and then when I'm ready to talk, I'll get back to you. And that gives you some time to really process and do your work before you come back and be in relationship again.
Yes.
Another one was, I'm not going to remember all of them.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just didn't know if there was any inspiration. So we're wondering if at this point in time you want to share your heart space, your energy, your joy, your peace, your process. What is it that you're going through at this time in your own work?
I would say in my own work is really overcoming a lot of paradigms about what a mom is and a mom's responsibilities, and because it's been challenging traveling, and my son is still in New Jersey and he's going to college, and I'm not there.
Yes.
So that has been the trickiest and most challenging thing for me emotionally.
Yeah.
And then all the paradigms around that I still have voices in my head saying, you're not being a good mom because you're not there and you're not doing this or doing that. And the truth is that I raised an amazing son, and he's okay. And he's figuring it out on his own. He's 21, and he's doing a great job figuring it out for himself. But that doesn't stop, even knowing that, it doesn't stop these paradigms that have been perpetrated upon me as a child, as an adult, that this is what a mom looks like.
Yeah.
And if you're to deviate from what that looks like, you're not a good person, or you're not a good mom. And divorce has been very challenging for me as well. And again, it's those paradigms that are around what a good wife is, or
Right.
what a woman is, and what a woman is not supposed to be, and you know, all those paradigms around all of it, how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to dress, how we're supposed to shave. I mean, I'm not saying shave or not shave. I'm just saying that, you know, just check in why you're doing these things,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And I think that has been the greatest challenge since I left in October. And that was around the same time that a year ago, that October, I left my husband of 28 years. So
Wow.
it was a long relationship.
Yeah.
And it was since I was 18 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm 53 now.
Right.
So I've been making music since I was 3 years old, according to my mom.
Ah.
So I've been making music for a really long time. And so that would be like the most challenging thing that I'm dealing with right now. And then staying true to who I am at this point in my life and being okay with that. And that if people around me aren't, then that's okay. I don't have to fix that.
Right.
That's not my job.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's beautiful because this is the work that you're doing. You know, exploring what is a woman, what does it mean to be a woman, what does it mean to be on this earth plane in this female body, in this feminine form, expressing this feminine version of ourselves. And so what does that mean to each of us? And I think as we journey within ourselves more and more deeply, we can find what that means within each of us, but also as a collective, the more of us that do this. And so your work is so important because the more of us that do this, the more of us can be undefined by what society says we should be. And that's for men too, not just women.
Absolutely. Men have had paradigms about the male's role in our society as well that they're hopefully working and overcoming as well. You know, and the way of the sacred is a very powerful experiential opportunity for women to start exploring or even continuing on their journey to explore how to stand in our power, how to reclaim what has been suppressed for a very long time, which is our innate wisdom.
Yes.
And our knowledge of that innate wisdom, following that innate wisdom, and trusting that innate wisdom, because we are here to be guiders. We're guiding others, you know, and as we raise our children, you know, we maybe can come into this awareness of how we can encourage our little ones to follow their innate wisdom.
Yes. Innate. There's that word innate.
Yeah.
Right.
It's there. It's just, you know, it's been suppressed, it's been covered, it's been ridiculed, it's been whatever. And I know that the work that Deva and I do with Way the Sacred, as well as Sharon Silverstein, the Peace Project, my band, the songs and the experiences, the workshops, all are supporting the growth of the participants to awaken to that innate wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the work you're doing.
Yeah.
You're
I could
sharing
not
and-
do it.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right.
At this point, you know, if I didn't do it, I would be miserable.
Right.
Yeah, I tried. I tried not to do it. I did. I tried to go back to teaching public school a few years ago because I taught public school for a really long time and I enjoyed it when I was doing it. And then I stopped and I was doing this work and then I went back a few years ago and I was pretty miserable.
Yeah.
So
your own lesson of inner divinity guiding you, teaching you. We're so powerfully expressive in our own voice and our own truth and our own peace and our own understanding. And we want to know why you came into the path that you're on now. Was there a reason that led you onto this path?
Well, there was one experience that I had that that kind of was the turnkey. And that was in 2002. I was at a life success seminar in California, and I didn't sleep the whole week I was there.
Wow.
I probably slept like 1 hour a night,
Oh my
if that,
gosh.
and I had tons of energy.
Okay. Wow.
And the last night we were there at 5 in the morning, which I know now is when the veil between the earth plane and the spirit world is like the thinnest, I guess, and we can really connect. I wasn't trying to do anything. It just a voice, very clear audio. So a lot of my messages for the music and things that I would say to people is given to me through clear audio. And I heard a voice that said, "Get up and go outside." So I got up. It was freezing, and I wrapped myself in a blanket, and I was just shivering and shaking. And I went outside and felt this complete oneness with everything. And I can feel and see and sense the vibrations within the trees, the bugs, the plants, the dirt, myself, the horses that were there. And it was all so vibrant, and it was loving. It felt like now in hindsight I can say it felt like pure love.
Wow.
But all I felt in that moment was a complete sense of awe and how big and vast everything is, because I'm connected to all of it. And that was the turning key for me to be on this path of learning as much as I could and going to as many things as I could back in 2002 to learn what spirituality was, because I had no idea what spirituality was back in 2002.
Yeah.
I was playing music, but I wasn't spiritually connected to my innate wisdom or anything. And then I started doing yoga, and that connected me on the path as well.
Okay.
The reason why I was in the Life Success Seminar was because I grew up as an abused child.
Okay.
An abusive home with my stepfather. Not my real father, my stepfather.
Okay.
Was physically abusive, mentally abusive, sexually abusive. And that happened for 11 years, since I was 6 to the time I left when I was 17 or 18 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So when I finally left that environment, that started a journey into self-healing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So right away you started your
I would
journey?
say I left in 1980, 88, 89. And then I went into Gestalt therapy for 10 years.
Okay.
And Gestalt therapy, if nobody knows, that's an amazing way to really honor the inner child and actually I don't want to say pretend, because it really feels real when you're doing the work with Gestalt therapy, but you talk to each age of your childhood and you rebuild an adult self that never really these children inside never got parented correctly, know. So then you become this parent to all of your inner children. So you become an advocate for your own inner child. And so it's a beautiful healing process. So that's what led me to these Life Success Seminars, to do some more healing work.
Yeah.
And then that opened me up to this connection with spirituality
And the oneness.
And that's one of the songs on
I was
my
just
CD.
going to say, she has a great song about oneness.
Yeah.
Which CD is that? That's on
this one.
Octave of
Even
Love.
though I wrote that probably back in 2003, it didn't make it onto an album until 2016.
Okay. Yeah.
So this has a few songs that are all about oneness and mantras. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We love your story, and
Thank you.
so a teacher of mine, I used to say, well, why have I gone through so many painful experiences? And he would say, so that you can help other people that have been through those experiences. So do you feel that that's opening up for you to be able to help people that have been through similar situations?
Oh yeah, that has been open for a while. I made peace with that experience. And I always like to say that there's no I'm not advocating for people to have to go through a traumatic experience to be a teacher. Yet when those traumatic experiences happen, we have a choice. When you're an adult, when you become an adult, not when we were a child, but when we become an adult, we have a choice to say, you know, this happened. Now what am I going to learn from this?
Right.
You know, what can I bring out of these lemons, right? As an old saying again, and make my own concoction of whatever that is. You know, it could be lemonade, it could be whatever, but I wasn't going to let the trauma determine who I was, because it was determining who I was.
Yeah. And
then when I started to do this peeling away of who I thought I was, rediscovering my innocence that was, I don't want to say taken from me, but it was, I didn't really get to experience the innocence of a child, you know, and so that has given me, I gave myself really the opportunity to discover that innocence again, which is so healing and wonderful.
Which is so powerful, and I think so many people need to hear that, that we don't have to be victims of our childhood and of our situations growing up. We can heal, and beautiful women like Sharon can help you to heal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And your workshops are so powerful. I mean, you can just go immerse yourself for days in this energy of healing the inner goddess, and it's all women. So if you've had these experiences with men, you know, you can go be in a safe environment, a safe container where you can let that stuff come out and really heal from that. So.
Yeah, or whatever the trauma is, whether it was inflicted by a man or a woman.
True.
You know, this is a safe container. Our retreats are magical, and they take place in Mexico and New York and upstate New York. So wayofthesacred.com is a way to find that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wayofthesacred.com, and what's your other website?
And to find the music is SharonSilverstein.com.
SharonSilverstein.com, and we'll have all those links below, like I said. Please buy her CDs, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. You and Deva, beautiful women, and I'm so honored to know them and to have you as part of my life.
Thank you.
So thank you. I love you.
Love you too.
Is there anything else you wanted to share today that we missed?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm just, if you don't have the courage to move forward in your life, then move forward. And I know this is going to sound weird, but you can move forward from a place of doubt. So if you bring doubt in, that I doubt that I won't be able to ever do it. It opens like a little doorway, a little window of possibly being able to do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yes. And I totally get that, because my move to Asheville has been full of that. And it's really like one step, next step, next step, and then you get somewhere. Yeah. You do eventually get somewhere.
And I doubt that I won't ever be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that.
So.
Okay. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, everybody. Thank you. Follow Sharon and Deva. We love you.